Hey guys, just coming back into Desmos, giving you a quick tutorial on how to copy your graph or how to save your graph. Now there will be times where in an activity, like in this activity right here, I don't know where to put myself, I'll put myself like right here, that I really don't need to save this whole Desmos activity or this file. I was just creating a table of values. We use those to get a scatter plot. We use the regression to come up with an equation, and we got a graph over here. So I want this graph to import it into my OneNote notebook in the appropriate place. So the easiest way, if you don't really want to save this as a file that has multiple things in it, it's just a graph. You can simply click over here where it says share graph, and then you can copy this link, which will give you a link to this whole file, right? And it's going to require you to log in and title it. Like right now, I have this as an untitled graph. So I can rename Control Shift S. So Control Shift S, and then rename it as homework number 3, I believe this one was, if you want to do that. So you can just save it and then move on. But there were many graphs in that homework. So like I said, it may not be something where I want to do homework number 3, number 1. I don't want to have to do that. You don't really necessarily need it for most things, but you could if you wanted to. Now, and so you could get this link right here and hit copy, and that copies to this file. Which means that I can click on it and see your data, I can see your graph, I can see everything that you've done in the actual file. But if I don't ask for that, you don't really need to do that. Excuse me. A lot of times what we basically just want is the image of the graph. So what you'll do here is you'll click export image. So I'm going to export this image, and then you can decide whether you want to have a small square or a large square, or like which one that you want to have. So you can click around and choose those. You can make your line thickness thicker or thinner. So choose what you like. And then at that point, you can download this PNG, and it'll download it over here. It just puts it in my download file. So a couple of things from there. Once I have it, I can just come over here to OneNote, and I'll show you on mine. Let me copy this so that I have no, paste. All right, so if I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to call this the key to that, just so that I'll start doing that for myself, then what I'm going to have down here is I want a graph below. So I'm going to right click here. I might have to open it. Hold on one sec. All right, coming back in, what I need to do is insert the image that I have. So I went to the insert menu, then I'm going to go to pictures from a file, and then when it pops up, I just had it in the downloads for mine, and so it should be the last thing I downloaded, and I can just grab that and it will put it in. Now once you get it in, you may need to move it to where it needs to be. I have a tendency to be like, let me shrink it down. I want it to be about right there. I don't need it to be that big. Kind of move it over. And then at that point, you have that graph into your homework that you have. So you don't have to like copy it down by hand. If we're using technology to help us out on that, then we clearly can get that in so we can kind of see what you're looking at, what you did from your Desmos activity, so you'll get that in there. You only really have to graph by hand if I tell you to graph something by hand, but in an activity like this, we're using Desmos to help us do the investigation, of course, and getting a picture of it over here. So that will be our short little tutorial on getting the picture into your homework from Desmos.